Hey, in this video we are going to share with you the popular residency visas in Panama. So in the description you have timestamps for each visa, so it's going to be comfortable for you hopefully to watch. And I'm accompanied today by Ryan and Tamara. They are founders of Independent Lawyer. It's a boutique law firm here in Panama City. I'm also their client and they can help you with these types of visas. So in the description we have their contacts and everything connected to this video. So guys, can you introduce yourselves and then we're gonna dive into the content. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Tamara Fernandez and I'm the lawyer in the Independent Lawyer.
And I'm Ryan Bullock. I'm Tamara's husband and her co-founder, partner in the Independent Lawyer. First off, there are a ton of different types of visas for people looking for residency in Panama. We work with most of them. I think for sake of time today, we'll talk about the ones that are the most popular among our clients. And we're working with clients from all over the world. You know, tons of clients from Canada, a lot of clients from the United States, different parts of Europe, Israel, South Africa, a few different niches around the world. A lot of the folks that are looking at residency in Panama, it's because they either have invested in Panama or they are planning to invest in Panama. So I think it's a good starting point to sort of structure the discussion. And sort of there are a number of investor visas, especially, you know, if you're investing like in a niche area like reforestation or agriculture or small businesses in Panama. Probably the most popular sort of entry-level investor visa that we work with the most often is the Friendly Nations visa as an investor.
Yeah, actually it was the one that Ryan applied 10 years ago. So the Friendly Nation visa basically can take two ways to apply for it. One is through a work contract, and we will talk later, but the investment will be $200,000, could be in a real estate or in a CD for 3 years, in a time deposit for 3 years. The Friendly Nations visa is applicable for about like 56 countries, including Israel, Canada, US, Argentina, and a bunch of countries from Europe. As I said, the investment have to be held for about 3 years. It can be done with financing. So it doesn't have to be all equity. Other visa that is very popular for people that is not part of these 56 countries is the self-economic solvency visa. Basically, if you need to invest in Panama, $300,000 investment, and you can apply for the visa. You need to hold this investment for about 3 years.
Can I ask something about holding? Holding means like having this sum, like let's say 300K or 200K. What does it mean to hold it? Like without what? Like, can you explain what hold means?
Yeah, if, for example, if you buy a $200,000 investment property, you need to keep it for at least 3 years.
I understand, okay.
Yeah.
So not selling it, just holding it, that's the holding part.
Or for example, if you were to go to one of the banks in Panama, the mini banks in Panama, and get a time deposit or a fixed rate deposit or a CD is what we call it, it would need to be a 3-year time deposit or a 3-year CD to be able to qualify for the self-economic solvency visa. One thing that's good about this one, so it's got a higher threshold than Friendly Nations. Friendly Nations, $200,000. Self-economic solvency, it's $300,000. And by the way, it has to be $300,000 in equity. So not, you know, you can't come with a bank letter to finance 70% of it. $300,000 cash money into Panama. What's cool about it, though, is that you can mix and match. So let's say you found a real estate property that costs $200,000. Well, then you could go make up the difference with a 3-year time deposit at a bank for $100,000 to get over that $300,000 threshold, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and any country can apply.
Yeah, also mentioned in the description, we have, if speaking of bank accounts, a video where we talked about opening bank account in Panama, so it's going to be linked in the description. Also, along with a video review of what you guys do of other services. And since we covered these two basic visas, but the first two that we've spoken about, is there a visa that is similar to what I've heard in places like Golden Visa, something like that? Or of course, if we have anything else to add on top of the previous two, or...
Yeah, so Panama does have its golden visa. We call it the qualified investor visa. It's also $300,000 in real estate. Actually, you could also put $300,000 into the Panama Stock Exchange as well. Or you can do a time deposit or a CD with a bank, but the threshold goes up to $750,000. What's cool about this one, there's no passport requirement, so anyone who makes the investment can qualify. If you hit that investment threshold and qualify for this one, then it's a 30-day expedited application process. Most of the visas that we talk about take about 6 months to process. This one, from the moment it starts, in 30 days, you get your your permanent residency. That's another important point. The other investor visas that we mentioned, Friendly Nations, Self-Economic Solvency Visa, they initially give you a 2-year residency, which you can then extend for permanent residency. The Qualified Investor Visa gives you a direct path to permanent residency.
About the stock exchange, is 300,000 of Panamanian stocks or 300,000 invested in Panamanian through kind of, let's say you can invest in the US economy stocks, Panamanian stocks?
Yeah, Panamanian
okay,
stocks.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes, and this golden visa, you can start it being outside the country. The other visas, all of them, you have to be in Panama to start the process. And as Ryan said, in 30 days, you are going to have your permanent residency. Difference from most of the other visas is 2-year renewable for permanent.
There's one other thing I would add about the Qualified Investor Visa. In October of this year, the law is changing. It's set to change. And that $300,000 investment threshold is increasing to $500,000. It's a huge price tag for a lot of people. Now, it was set to change in October of 2022, and they extended the $300,000 threshold for 2 more years. So it's possible that they'll extend it again, but from everything that people are saying, they will actually change it this time. So if you're on the fence and looking at an investment in Panama, it would be worth considering to go ahead and pull the trigger and get in to this one before the law changes.
Yeah, again, I'll remind our viewers, we have your contacts in the description in case they want some help with that. And yeah, pretty cool. So these are 3 types of visas. Are there any more other ones?
Those are the main investor visas, and there's a whole other group, aren't dependent on a major investment in Panama. A lot of people, they come here, they fall in love with the country. They maybe plan to engage in the Panama real estate market, but they don't want to be rushed into doing so before they're really tapped in and understand what's going on. So fortunately, there are a number of other great programs. Actually, we talked about Friendly Nations. So there is a Friendly Nations visa that does not require an investment. You can instead apply on the basis of a work contract with a Panamanian company.
Yeah, that visa will give you the benefit of obtaining a work permit. You can apply. It will give you 2 years residency renewal for permanent. Other of the most popular visas in Panama is the Pensional Visa. Basically, the requirements that you need to have $1,000 in pension. Can be from the government or annuity or private pension for life. The important part is that pension is for life, so people can apply. That is other of the special visas that will give you permanent residency right away. In about 6 months of applying, you will get the permanent residency.
Yeah, what's great about it's often called the Pensionado Visa. It's targeting retirees, but there's no age limitation. If you have a retirement plan in place or a pension or an annuity, even an annuity through an insurance company that's paying you that fixed amount of above $1,000 for a lifetime benefit, then you can qualify. It also comes with a ton of pretty attractive benefits. You're exempt from paying taxes on importing a car. You get discounts on domestic flights, hospitality, movie theaters, healthcare, all kinds of cool stuff.
Nice. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's the Pensionado visa, right?
Yes. Yeah. Other thing is it's a little bit different situations. For example, if you don't make $1,000, but your spouse makes the difference, you can apply with them together and just for the $1,000. So if each of you, for example, make $500 and $500, the $1,000 will be good enough. If you have invested in a property for $100,000 in Panama and your pension is only $750, it will be applicable as well. So you can get the pensionado and all the benefits.
Yeah, there are a ton of nuances when it comes to all these. Obviously, we won't be able to get into all of them in this video, but that's what we do, and we're pretty good at it. So we sort of help people, we look at their individual circumstances and sort of help them to choose the path that works best for them and their family. Is it a man and woman with their spouse? Are there dependent children? What are their ages? Are they still in school back in Canada, et cetera, et cetera? They want to invest, they have invested. So there's a lot to work with there. Another one that we're hearing about, or we're getting a lot of inquiries about recently, is the Professional Visa, which is pretty cool. This one, you qualify based on a diploma or a university level degree from your home country. So it's like Friendly Nations. It gives you initially a 2-year residency, but you can then extend for permanent residency. You can qualify with your spouse or dependent kids. What's unique about this one is that it's sort of a dual process, right? Because before you apply for the residency, you have to validate your diploma or your master's degree or whatever it is from another country. You have to do a validation process with the University of Panama, which can take several months to do, and then you launch your residency process. But again, it's great because it opens the door to a lot of people, and frankly, really good immigrants for Panama, people that come with a skill and really something to contribute.
Yeah, as you can see, we're very passionate about visas and we have a lot of information to share. Other visa that is always popular is the Italian visa. This is for Italian passport holders. It will give you permanent residency. The requirements are very few. You need to have a corporation in Panama, set up in Panama, and your Italian passport. With this visa, you can apply same with spouses or dependents, and they don't need to be Italians to be able to apply and give permanent residency.
Yeah, this one we really like it because it's based on an old treaty between Panama and Italy from a few decades ago, in the late 60s or so. I don't even know.
66.
Yeah, and it offers a direct path for permanent residency. It's pretty specific requirements, right? You have to have that Italian passport, but really that's it. It's really a low bar if you meet the regular requirements.
So like any Italian over 18, I guess, or not even over 18 can get it?
Have to be 18 or have to be like sponsored by their parents.
Nice. So that's a very special country, right? That's
Yeah, and you need to own a company. Creating a corporation in Panama, it's fast, easy, and inexpensive. And by the way, if you're going to be here doing any type of business, any type of investing at all, you're probably going to end up creating, wanting to have one anyway. Yeah. So this is a nice one.
Italian. Okay, cool. Any other ones?
There's one we call it the dependent of a permanent resident. So let's say you applied for the Pensional Visa or the Friendly Nations Visa, and you got it, and then you get married, right? So it provides a path to residency for your spouse. Or if for some reason you didn't do residency for your kids initially, a lot of people don't the first time around, you can do it after the fact through the dependent of a permanent resident. We do that one pretty often as well.
Okay, so awesome. We're going to have your contacts in the description, the website, maybe some type of blog post which kind of covers these things and more information about what we've spoken, maybe like outlined by bullet points in the description, and a way to contact the guys from Independent Lawyer if you need help with your visa to Panama. Yeah, and anything else to add before we finish the video, guys?
I think we covered most of it.
Yeah.
All right.
No, great. Yeah, there's more there. If you're interested in Panama residency, reach out to us. We'll do an initial consultation. We don't charge you for that, and we'll help you think about what options are most relevant for you.
Perfect. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. Tamara, Ryan, thank you, and yeah, good day to everyone.
Thank you.